Hey guys, we have had the craziest winter. Super mild, lots of rain, like a handful of really cold, typical winter nights, probably not even days. I wouldn't even go that far. And it is almost March, but all signs as far as like phenology, animal behavior, and plant behavior goes say it is spring. And so I have read and done an inordinate amount of research and reading about whether we should tap our trees or not. There are a lot of producers in the south that have tapped their trees and are off to a really great syrup season. My friend and I, who will remain unnamed, she's an arborist as well. And so we've been going back and forth, just trying to figure out whether we should tap the trees or not, because honestly, I really didn't want to injure the trees. If you tap too early and you're pulling the sap out of the tree, the wound that you make can get bigger because that sap could potentially freeze in that wound. I've seen it happen a couple of times on our trees and I didn't want to take that risk. But for fear of missing out on this season completely, because we hardly have any syrup left, we gave away too much last year, and we had a really good year last year. So it's a good lesson in holding some back, for the just in case years. We are going to tap our trees today, which I'm still not sure. I really don't know if it is the best decision, but yeah, and this is the time of year where stuff gets real around here as far as busyness and end of the semester and spring just in general. I was thinking today, like, I think I got to start some seeds here soon. Like, I've just completely kind of lost track. This weather is really throwing me for a loop, but Brian and I are going to go out and tap our trees. I guess better to be safe than sorry. I was thinking that we would wait until the first or second week of March, which is when we typically tap, but just the weather is so strange. So some of the indigenous traditional stories say to watch when the crows gather into murders, which is a large group of crows. And I haven't seen that yet, but I have seen a ton of smaller groups of crows and just more crows in general. Someone else told me an indigenous story was to watch for the squirrels, like feeding on the buds, because that means the buds are swelling with sap. And I don't really have a good pulse on the squirrels here because even when I'm in the bush, I don't see them an awful lot. So I can't use that. But I smell spring. I hear spring. Today I saw pussy willows in Peterborough, which isn't too far from here. It was a little bit further south and warmer, but that is a springtime sign. So we're gonna do it. And I may live to regret this. I don't think so. I've looked at the weather ahead. We do have one kind of weird day this week where it's going to, I think it's up to 11 in the day and then down to minus 13 at night. But for the rest of the time, looks like we might be in the clear. So anyways, here goes nothing. So you can see all the trees already, all the tree wells like this are already all thawed. And normally that's what we wait for the sap to run. So this is just such a weird year. So here's one from a number of years ago. Again, fully compartmentalized. You can see that that it's fully grown over, but that this bark has cracked, which is not ideal. You don't really want that to happen, but still properly compartmentalized. And then where's ours from last year? Oh, and then here's the one from last year. So I can see. Let me see if I can get you in there. So you can see the wound wood has started to grow over. So it is compartmentalizing. And then there's ours for this year. So we kind of just work our way around the tree, keeping the buckets about 6 inches, or the drill holes about 6 inches apart every year. And so by the time you work your way around the tree again and come back and you move up and down as well, then you're not re-injuring the tree in the same spot and allowing it to compartmentalize. But let me show you one that's not ideal. So this one, so you can see how big that crack is. So this we tapped with our old spiles, the big ones as well. And it's not ideal to have that large of an injury. So that could have been because we tapped the spile in too hard, or also really cold temperatures when we had tapped. But that's like almost a 2-foot scar, which is what you don't want. Not ideal. Live and learn. Brian just had to run back to the house because he forgot the lines for some of the buckets, and some of the trees are really giving her right now. So I don't know where we're at. This might be a hard lesson learned, or not. But as you can hear, it's flowing. And it's interesting because this tree is at the bottom of a little slope, and we've never tapped this tree before. So we're going to try and spread it out this year. We have a lot of trees that we can tap that we just don't, mostly because the ones we tap are the easiest to get to. But we're going to, in the next couple of years, looking at clearing some of these trails just to make it easier for collection. I doubt that we're ever going to go to lines because this is more of a hobby for us. We have lines on like a single tree with multiple taps, but that's about it, not from tree to tree. I don't think we'll ever get to the point where we're vacuuming or anything like that. It's just not necessary for us, but we do this just for kind of enjoyment. It was a dream of Brian's for sure when we moved up here, and so I enjoy it. I enjoy it too, but it's his jam for sure this time of year. Both of ours really, but it was his dream and I just came along for the ride, and I love it. I absolutely love this time of year. It's just super busy. But yeah, so we're gonna see. This is a gamble, that's for sure. It's a sea of blue. Well guys, we are going to throw in the last of the taps. I think we've put in something like 90, 95 taps. And so it begins. Hopefully we have a good run this year. We make a little syrup. It's always a good time. Grateful to be able to do this every year. Just so darn lucky. March 1st, and let me show you something. This is unheard of. It's unheard of that I can open my garden gate at this time of year, but look. Hardly any snow. I see like green. Look, you can see my Brussels sprouts. What's left of them. Look at that. It's nuts. Strawberry vines. Look at it. What is going on? So we have had our trees tapped for a couple of days now, and we've dumped buckets once. We've checked our buckets once, and then we got a deep freeze or hard freeze. It was like, I don't know, -13 or some such number. So all of the sap in the buckets froze because we were away, which is totally fine because it actually preserves the sap and lets you prolong or put off, I guess, if you're not ready boiling. But today, a really great friend, thanks Mark, lent us some of his buckets. We were gonna buy a couple more, and I don't know what happened. We bought a couple lines. Anyways, we're putting in more taps. And my friend Rainey just started a YouTube channel. My friends Rainey and John. I'm gonna link it, or I'll just put it on the screen here because I can't exactly remember the name. Our Lakeside Life or Lakeside Living or something to that effect. But anyways, she was saying about how maple syrup doing maple syrup is addictive. And you could just always put in one more tap. And so that's what we're doing. We're putting in a couple more taps. The season for us is going to be pretty short this year. We have lots going on. Well, Easter is at the end of March. So we kind of hope to be started and done in and around that time. So yeah, we're going to hopefully catch a little bit of a run here in the next couple of weeks and then pull taps, which honestly, when I was driving home today, a lot of the buds on the soft maples are ready to burst. So that means ready to flower. And really after that, you're going to see the sap stop running anyways. So we'll get a little bit here, and I don't expect to get too much this season anyways. So that's why we're going to throw in a couple more taps to make it worth our effort. But this year we got a new tool, so we're excited to kind of try that out. Sorry about Tilly. This four-wheeler's running and she goes berserk. She gets very excited about four-wheeler rides and chasing the four-wheeler. So let's go do this. The dogs make this difficult because they run in front of the four-wheeler. This one. The cargo's too heavy. Gotta take a run at her. Oh boy. I'll get off. Let me get. Poor route selection, I would say, but who am I? Got her beat. That's funny. So some of these trees here, I untapped this one right here because I was eyeballing this one the other day. It's got a little bit of a wound on the back, but I think we're all right. Okay, so we have a lot of trees in here that we can tap, but the kind of rule of thumb for tapping is that they should be at least 20 centimeters diameter, or diameter at breast height. That's what DBH means. And so we have a couple trees here that we've kind of passed up for the last number of years that are ready to go. So we're just gonna kind of give them a test this year and see how they perform. So yeah, let's do this. One of the other things that's really important, I guess, well, that is important. You don't want to drill too much or create too big of a wound, is to not drill too deep. And that can depend on the bark thickness too, which is important, but I'll bring you in here and show you. Huh? This one? Can I do this one? That other big one along the edge, we'll go the other way. Have we tapped this one before? Maybe. I feel like we have, but
some of these we haven't.
No, I don't see one. I mean, it could have sealed over by now.
No, I don't think we ever tapped it.
Okay. I like it low. I'm getting instruction to go. This is how Brian says, which means fast, full throttle. I don't think I went to your spacer, but don't worry, it's ripping.
What about the fender?
That one over there, did you want me to do?
That other big one with the fence on it.
Okay. I did it all right, look. I've got the hammer of approval. I'm an impatient person, so, I mean, full throttle. I am the daughter of Randy Ray as well, which says a lot. Now, a lot of these trees, this is a fence line tree. So we've got shrapnel. I don't know if you can see, but let me show you right here. This is a piece of fence growing in the tree. And on the back side, this old electric fence is there. So things to consider while tapping, and how your bucket's going to hang too is something to consider. So I'm probably going to tap up a little higher on this one just because I want the bucket to rest nicely. Oh, we've tapped this one 3 times already. This is nice though. Look at that nice sun. Okay. There's one from, this is how we should be doing it. 1, 2, 3. And
That was one from the big
I go
one
down
from the
here.
original.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
See that other big one right there?
Doing this a little out of order, but that's okay. We're all kind of over the map because these are all, well, that one was a tree that we had tapped before, but these are, oh no, this one was tapped a long time ago. It's kind of cool to see. Let me look. We've only tapped this one once? Yeah. We've only tapped this tree once. Hello. Love it. Okay, we're gonna go. Got a big canopy, big sunny canopy. Here. Got her. That's crazy. Doesn't look like. Typically what happens is we run out of buckets. And so some of these, depending on how we tap, like at the process, we miss them. So we won't miss this one today. So there's an old tap. I'll put this one down here.
See the difference? Like, there's our old tap hole from last year. Belly buttoned in already, right?
Yeah,
so,
no, I see. I know.
The old ones where we're like,
yeah. So we're just talking about the difference in spile sizes.
Small is better.
Small is better in some cases. Bigger is not always better. It's true though. When trees are wounded, they aren't like humans. They don't basically heal. They just cover over with new wood the injury or the wound. And so it takes a lot of energy, just like in humans, to seal that wound over. And so it's way better if you can make a smaller wound in the tree.
Example right there. There's one compared to the other side.
I almost just tapped a white pine. Bark ID saved me. They're just right there. I don't. That's okay. Dropped ya.